Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. We're doing something for our US friends. I'm Canadian, as most of you know. So we're going to be doing this Americanized or patriotic wreath for the Americans. So what we have here is that we have little mini flags, and there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those. And then we have an assortment number of these little stars. So obviously red, white, and blue is the American colors. So what I'm going to be able to show you today is how to do these steps, and at the end of the tutorial I'll show you how to do the French knots that appear in the flags. It's just a representation of the stars. Of course you can decorate it any way you wish. So I'm gonna leave the decorating of the wreaths to you. My job here is to teach you how to do these particular motifs, and then you can apply it to a wreath that you absolutely love. So without further ado, we're going to be using a 4mm size G crochet hook in order to play. You're gonna be using lily, sugar, and cream yarn. You only need one ball of each of the colors, so red, white, and blue, and you just need one ball, and then you're good to go. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's do the easy stuff first. I'm gonna show you the star, and then we'll do the flag second. So I'm gonna show you using red. So we're gonna create a slip knot, and we are going to insert our 4mm size G crochet hook into the loop. We're going to then chain 2. So 1 and 2. Now the second chain from the hook is the first one, and I want you to put 10 single crochets into that one. So just go right into the actual chain itself. So we're gonna just single crochet 10 times. So let's count out together. So it was 1 and 2, and just keep rotating around. 3, 4, 5, and I'm going right up over top of this straggler. 6, 7, 8. Now I'm running out of space, so what I want to do is just kind of shift things out of the way and then keep on going. So just 9 and 10. Now depending on how tight you do that beginning, sometimes you can end up with a hole right in the middle, but the other times I didn't. So you know, you want to take care when you're doing this for the first time. Once you get this done, then just a slip stitch to the beginning. So if you're not sure which is the 10th, just count it back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is almost hidden. So we're just gonna slip stitch the 10th one away, which is the very first one, and that concludes that round number 1. Round number 2, easy peasy. So we're gonna chain up 1, and in the same one that you did the join, I want you to put in 2 single crochets into that. So 1 and 2. So here's how this is what one's gonna work, and I'm not gonna do the whole thing with you on camera. We're just gonna go 2 single crochets into each of the stitches going all the way around. So if there's 10 stitches all the way around, this is gonna make it go into 20 by the time you're done. So 2 single crochets in each one. I'll see you at the end of this round. Okay, once you're all the way around, you got 2 into each one. There should be 10 sets of 2, and just slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. So now we're gonna create the point, and this is the final round. This is how quick these ones go. So I've been kind of avoiding this pattern for years, not realizing how easy it is. So you're gonna chain up 1, and you're gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the next 4. So starting the first one, that's where the join is. So 1, 2, and go to the next one, 3, and the next one's 4. Once you get 4 done, turn it around, chain up 1, and you're gonna put the first 2 together. So insert into the same one that you just came out of. So going in and pull through, go into your next one, pull through, and then you got 3 loops, pull through all 3. That's a 2 together for single crochet. We're gonna put the final 2 together, same way, and pull through, and then turn, chain 1, and then put there's only 2 there, so put those together. So in and go to the next one, in, you got 3 loops again, pull through all. So now we have to get back down to here. So we're just gonna slip stitch just casually, just giving it a bit of slack. So I got in 1 time for a slip stitch, another time for a slip stitch, and slip stitch in the same one that you had that 4th one in that you started with. So now you're going to start with the next 4. So just going into the next 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn your work, chain 1. So put the first 2 together. So in, pull through, go to the next one, pull through. Whoops, I dropped my stitches. Okay, you got 3 loops, pull through all 3 and do the final 2 and then pull through all 3, turn, chain 1 and then put the only 2 together. So there's only 2 stitches left, put them together, and then once you have that together, slip stitch down. So just going in 1, slip stitch, do it again, coming down, 2, and then end up in the bottom which is the 4th one, and then begin all over again. So the next 4 and do exactly what I just showed you. So do that all the way around and then I'll meet you there in just a moment. So I'm doing my last one. I'm just slip stitching. So even though my last one's done at the top, I'm slip stitching down to where I would start with where I finish with the 4, and I did that because then that makes all the sides look even. So I'm now gonna turn it over, leave an extra long tail, and what you want to do is with the darning needle is that you want to hide those loose ends in. So pulling the string all the way through the loop just to kind of secure it off, pull it tight, and then just turn it over, and then this is the back side of the star. So you want to hide your loose end through the back side. Okay, and if you go in and out 3 times of your project, just stay in the back areas of the fiber. So if you turn it over and see this going through, then you know you're too deep. So just stick to the outside or the back side of this project and go back and forth a total of 3 times. Try not interfering with the edge at all so that you don't ruin the look of anything that you're doing. Now if you didn't bury that first strand in there, if you decided not to do that or you didn't know how to, just take your darning needle and just weave that in as well. I did bury it as I went, so I can just safely cut that out too. So there is your star, and you can make your red, white, and blues, and you can do as many as you see in the picture as well. So without further ado, we're gonna move on to the flag next. So here's what the flag looks like. It's missing the French knot stars that you typically would see in an American flag, obviously. We're gonna start off with red and then white and then red and then white, and then we're going to do red, and then we're gonna transition to the blue here and then come back blue and then change over. So this is kind of like Afghan work that you see here. So it's all done at the same time when you're working your way across. I'm gonna show you how to do that as well. So what we're gonna do is that we're going to start off the bottom and work our way up. So let's grab our same size hook, a size G, 4mm, and your Lily Sugar and Cream. So let's create a slip knot to begin. We're going to start off with chaining of 19. So there's total of 4 of these flags here. So we're going to chain 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please go all the way to 19 with me and just see me here in a second. So row number 1, we're gonna go second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2, just count it back, turn it over and get the back hump of the chain and just insert in and then just single crochet. And I want you in the back hump of every one of the chains, just fill it in with the single crochet and work your way back to the start of your chain. So please do that all the way across. So once you come to the other side, you're gonna go right to the last one, and we have to change our color. The best thing I would suggest for you is to grab that darning needle and just finish off this. You don't want to carry it up because then you'll end up with the color red transitioning into the white. So you just want to pull through the loop like this, and what I would strongly recommend is that you take that and put it into a darning needle. Now you're gonna go back and forth with the same color every time when you're going across, except for when you hit the blue, then it just slightly changes there. But just turn it over and just insert the tail into the stitch work here. You want to take your time, especially if this is on your front door. So you're just gonna put it into the tail and then you're good to go. So then you can cut that out. Okay, so starting exactly where you just finished right here is where we're gonna begin to do the white. So let's bring on white next. So I know white's hard to see on a white backgrounds, but it is the flag, so that's what we have to deal with. So what we're going to do is that we're gonna start off in the first one and we're gonna do the back loops only. So if you're new to crochet, when you look at your stitch work, you'll always see that there's 2 strands. The first strand is called the front loop and the other strand is called the back loop. So we want to start off the back loop. So when we go to start it, go in the back loop only and pull through. So don't create a knot like I typically would ask you to do. So just loop it and pull it through and let the straggler, which is the loose end, just fall onto the project, and we're gonna deal with that as we go. So using the back loops, we want to chain up 1 and go into the same back loop that you just did. Go up and over top of that white strand to catch it in, and I want you to single crochet. So you're just gonna move along in your project and you're gonna go to the next back loop that's available to you and then just single crochet. So do you see how this yarn strand has just popped out? So I'm just going to go over it so that that white gets stuck in there too, or the red gets stuck in there too. Sometimes you gotta fake it or make it, and then you can deal with it later as well. Okay, so we're going to single crochet then in the back loop going all the way across, and I'll see you at the end of this row. So I'm gonna deal with this loose end as well. I might have cut it too short, that's why it's falling out. So let me get that dealt with, and I'll see you at the end of this row. Okay, I'm coming all the way back to the other side, going into the last one, still continuing the back loop. So now I'm gonna turn my work. So this is what's interesting about this pattern. I haven't really seen this happen before, so it's kinda new. So I'm just gonna reposition. You're going to chain up one, and you are going to go in the back loop still, but you're not gonna single crochet. You're just going to slip stitch. So just pull through and through, and just be gentle about it. Don't be reefing down, because slip stitches have a tendency to be really tight. So you're just gonna slip stitch your way all the way back across. So here's the secret. Every time you're moving in this direction, it'll always be a slip stitching to return back to where you had started. So the first one, and it's always in the back loop too. So you wanna make sure that you're kind of paying attention. So the first one you're back looping, single crochet, and then in the return pass you are slip stitching in the back loop going all the way back. So when you get all the way back, then I want you to finish off this yarn again, and then we're gonna begin to do red, exactly what you know, but we're just gonna slightly just go in the back loop only. So I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm back, and I've got all the way back, and I wanna finish off this yarn strand like I did before. So I'm just gonna come all the way through. So I just finished off that stitch, and now I'm just going to just pull through that loop and just tighten it, and then grab my darning needle and do exactly what I did before. So I just want to show you one more time when we do this. Just turn it around. So I'm turning it around because I'm getting it ready for the next one. That's where I'm gonna start. Sometimes you can forget, especially if you do such a good job and you're hiding the yarn strands. It's been known to happen to me. So I'm just going to weave this in a little bit longer than I did before, and just weave it in, and I want to pull on it, but I don't want to pull to the point that I'm warping this from not being kind of a flat edge, and then I can trim out if I want to. So now we're gonna bring back red. So red coming back in. So red, just loop it, do not create a slip knot, and in the back loop only on the first one. Just pull through and then chain one. Okay, I just want to give it a, actually, you know what, I can see that I started too late, so I'm gonna just backtrack one more. Want to keep an eye on making sure my edges stay nice and flush. It'll happen to the best of us. So chain up one and one single crochet in the back loops going all the way across. Once you get all the way back to the other side, just chain one and slip stitch all the way back on the back loop at that time. So your goal now is to do what I'm showing you here, and so you should have then 2 rows of red showing and then 2 rows of white, and then I'm gonna join you back at that point and show you how to add in the blue. So I'm now gonna bring back the red, but now we have to add in our blue as we hit it. So what we're going to do is when we start our red is that we're going to start in the back loop only in the first stitch. Again, don't create a slip knot. And you can see I'm going right up over top of the white as well that's already there. Sometimes you know your own tricks on being able to hide your own yarn. So sometimes I show you the right white, sometimes I show you my cheating techniques. So you're gonna chain up one, and you're going to go, this one is number 1, so you're gonna go 11 in a row of back loop only single crochet. So we have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this is 10. Now the 11th you can't finish, so you can go in for 11th but you don't finish it. I want you to grab your blue now. Okay, create a loop and I want you to finish that 11th with the blue so it's ready. So this is like the top of your next stitch when you look at it from this perspective. So then the remaining of the stitch work is going to be blue. Now before you do anything, I need you to put the red that was sitting there in front. Okay, so we're just got the looping, leave the blue down. So let that red go in front. This is like Grafghan work. So you're now gonna go into your next stitch with using the blue. Just trying to see where it is. And then use your blue for the remaining. Back loop only, single crochet. And noticing that I'm going up over top of the loose end, so then that hides that in permanently as you do it. You can always use a darning needle, but if you can avoid it and speed yourself up, why not? So there is a total of 7 of these stitches for the remaining that's here. So you're going to turn your work, just a moment. Okay, so turn your work, and this is the return pass. So the return pass is what you already know. So you're going to chain 1, and in the back loop only, I know it's hard to see in the blue, you're just gonna continue to do that single that slip stitch just in the blue itself. So we're gonna slip in the blue, and what we have to do is we have to transition back to red when we hit the red. So I'm just hitting one slip stitch in each one of the blue. So you're gonna go into your very final stitch, and what you have to do is that you have to let the blue fall down in front. So move it to the front, and so I'm in the stitch but I have not pulled through, and I'm gonna use the red to pull through. So that finishes that stitch to keep it consistent. Then in the next red, then I continue with the red back loop only, slip stitching like this. So when I get back, the red is done for this time, so I have to switch back to white. And so when I switch back to white, when I hit the blue again, I have to switch again position so that I can keep my stripes all lined up perfectly. So I'm just slip stitching all the way back to the very beginning, making sure I get into the last one, and then that's it, and then I switch back to white. And so I'm just going to trim that. I can pretty much show you this. I've already done it once, so I'm pretty confident in it. So I'm just gonna pull through. Just pull it on it nice and tight. Turn my work. You can hide it if you have your own techniques, or if you can cheat the system like I am. So going into the back loop only of the very first stitch, let the straggler of the red fall down in front, and pull that white through. Okay, let the straggler of the white just lay down on itself, chain 1, and then just do 1 single crochet in the back loop only, going up underneath the 2 stragglers. That's how you hide in your loose ends. So just pull your yarn nice and tight, and then moving to your next one, just back loop only, single crochet. So I just want to tighten everything nice and up on me, and then just make sure you're good to go. So I want to just keep doing this so that it gets maybe trapped under for about 2 inches, and then I can let it go in behind and then move on. So I'm gonna let it just fall out of position. So I'll just put these out of position, and I'm going to then continue then to until I get to the blue. So this is the last red one, so this should be white. Don't finish it, bring it forward. You must bring it forward. Bring up the blue that's sitting in the back, finish it, and then continue on the blue. Back loop, single crochet. So then you're gonna turn your work, and then you're just gonna do your chain 1 and slip stitch all the way back, just how I showed you already. Slip stitch in the white all the way back, and then change it one more time then to red, and then do red 1 pass over, and then back, and then your flag is good to go. And I'll see you at the end of that here. We're almost done. So now coming to the end. So at the end of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the French knots on a Christmas wreath. And it's just it's already filmed, so it's easier just to rebroadcast that. So what I'm gonna do is that all these yarn strands that I went over top of, because I did put them over top of and underneath the stitches, I can safely just cut those out. Save yourself a ton of time if you do it that way. Therefore you don't have to use a darning needle in order to secure everything back into position. You will also notice too is that because you went back and forth, you kind of favored that whole idea of the one side being really awesome, just like this. So what I'm gonna do is that this one here, these blues, I need to put in with the darning needle. So just going in and out, just like how I showed you, like in and out. Actually I didn't show you on this one. So just take your strand. Sorry, I usually do it in every tutorial. So if you want to hide in your loose ends, the best way to do it is to hide it in and out 3 times. So just put it onto a darning needle. Oh, I think I might have showed it you in the star. Who knows? So I'm going to just glide it underneath. I don't want to impact the actual look of the flag. And you're gonna be using this part of the flag too to put in your embroidery as well, if you wish to do that. Hey, and if you want to use buttons instead, it's up to you. It's interpretation really for the flag. So if you don't have the right number of stars, it is what it is, right? So, and I don't think there's enough room to put as many of the official stars on this one because it's so small. So what we have is that this is what it's gonna look like, and then you can position it onto your wreath. And so I'm going to forward you now to showing you how to do the embroidery for the actual stars, and you use your white yarn for that. So I'll forward you to that next tutorial, so stay tuned because here it comes. Hey, and welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey. Today I'm gonna show you how to do a French knot. This is here is the French knots just like you see, and now the French knots are more of a one-sided idea if you don't hide in your yarn very well. This is a Christmas wreath that was part of the Advent calendar, and if I look at the back, woohoo, yeah, fun. So what I would do if it were me and I was doing this for real, then what I would do is do all the French knots first on the first panel before doing the second one and attaching it, so then all of that would then be inside the wreath itself. So today I'm gonna show you how to do the French knot just like you see here, and you can see I can add more in here if I want to. So I've already shown how to do this on camera, so I'll show you how I did my first ones. So what we're going to do is that we're going to put the yarn that we want to create the little decoration with onto a darning needle. And what we want to do is that you can choose anything that you wish, and you want to come through the back side to the front so you can tell where the bow is. So you're just gonna come through and just come through, and you don't want to pull all the way through. You want to stop just enough so that you can put this into a darning needle to hide it in the very end. To create the French knot, all you just need to do, and I'll show it to you twice, is that you lay down the needle on top of the project like this, and take this strand here, just be gentle about it because it's not tied into anything in the back, and you're gonna wrap it around. So 1 and 2. Okay, so let's just review. So just put the needle in, okay, so it's just on its side, and then take this strand, 1 and 2. When you're ready, all you just got to do is just point it back into your project in a different spot going down, and then just take your time and push it through like this. If you rush it, then you know if you rush it, it's no fun. So therefore it's going to pull and lock onto itself, creating a little mini decoration. So therefore you have like what appears to be a Christmas ball. So if this is a one-sided project, so you're not worried about turning around, if you wanted to create it somewhere else you can. So let's review again. So let's put one up here. Okay, just pull it so it's snug, and then lay down the needle and wrap it twice. So 1 and 2. Okay, so just 1 and 2, and then go down a different section of the same area. You can't go down through the same space because then it won't lock on anything. So going down through and gently just pull everything through, and that'll lock onto itself. I'll show it to you one more time while we're here. So you can use different colors for these kind of ideas for making like appears to be Christmas balls all over this thing. So you can just go somewhere else if you wanted to, just down through here. Again, put down the needle, wrap it twice, and then back down. And it locks onto it. So when you're done with these kind of ideas, so if you want to add different colors into here, then what you can just do is just turn it around to the back and then just weave it in and out of the spaces a total of 3 times, so you can put it through so it locks. And just weave it in and out. So this is a kind of a neat project to being able to demonstrate these kind of ideas with. So the original string that we started with, remember, was not locked down into position. So all you're just gonna do is just take that strand, you left it long enough so that you can at least put it into a darning needle, and then all you're just gonna do is just weave it in the back side 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. And then that's enough to hold it stable just like that. So that's how you do your French knots if you're interested in that kind of idea for this kind of project.